Hey, what is crackin', Booty Brigade? I'm trying out like my first sort of like reaction video here, just speaking out my ass, so bear with me. So I happened to stumble upon something on our anime today that just really spoke to me and my sense of humor, and I had to cover it. Let's go to our anime here and take a look at what I found. What you're gonna see here, as I said, I'm not the best at talking out the ass, but what I am good at is talking about ass. And so as you'll see here, someone on our anime made life-size chocolates of Megumin from Konosuba's thighs. And thighs, ass, not exactly 100% ass, but still close enough.
Choco, choco, clap, clap, choco, choco, clap, clap. Everybody say a chocolate.
I gotta wonder, is that like hollow? Is her whole thighs and ass full of chocolate? It's just, it's kind of art. I'm not gonna lie, like some people they might just see that and they say why, but I don't know, it just kind of touches me in a really weird place. I don't know how to describe it. And then as you can see on the Reddit post, the guy goes into a lot of detail here, describes everything, why he did it. He has 3 questions. How is this Megaman's thighs and not just anyone else's thighs? He says, truth be told, if I didn't say they were Megaman's thighs, you probably wouldn't be even able to tell. I would argue that, like, true fans that really worship Megumin as their waifu, which, if you've been on the internet, they're definitely out there. If they took a bite of this chocolate, they'd definitely be able to taste it was Megumin. I have confidence in them. It's like, as someone who's really passionate about his waifus, like, if you just, like, gave me a piece of their thigh without telling me it was them, like, I could taste it, man. And then he goes on to say he used a 3D model of Megumin that he found, as you can see here. And then he used his 3D printer to print out that 3D model to create what you're seeing right here, which he could then use to create his own chocolate mold. And then he goes on to say that he went through the painstaking effort of making her skin white chocolate and her panties and her one thigh sock milk chocolate. Yeah, as you can see there, she's got the thigh sock, which he made milk chocolate. And wait, you mean, I actually thought the body part was just a mold, like some type of material to hold the chocolate in. That means that whole fucking thing is chocolate. Like, dude, that would take a long time to eat a piece of Megumin. Like, oh my god. Alright, hear me out. But you know what one thing that this guy really should have done was like, what Megumin's like? She's an explosion girl. She loves exploding all over people. Like, what you should have done, you've ever had, like, the Pop Rocks before, and they've even had, like, Pop Rock chocolate before, or, like, just chocolate, kind of like a Crunch Bar, but even more intense, like, snapping in your mouth? Like, that's the kind of chocolate he should have used, so that, like, since it's Megumin's thighs, the chocolate would be, like, exploding in your mouth, so that you're eating Megumin, an explosion girl, and she's exploding in your mouth, while you're exploding in your pants from getting to eat Megumin, and you're exploding more from the explosions, and there's just like a whole lot of explosions, and you're just like, what the fuck, boom, my mind explode, boom. Yeah. And then question 2, he asks, how did you determine the size of Megumin's thighs? He says he found a height chart for the Konosuba characters online, and he was able to use it to determine the width of Megumin's thighs. This man, he's got dedication. Like, he's like the Albert Einstein of, like, eating waifu chocolate thighs. You gotta give him props, even though he might be a little odd. Like, he deserves the props. And he was able to determine with this chart that Megumin's thighs were 30 centimeters wide. And then if you want to read more about it in this thread, he goes more into detail here about, like, the process. Using layers of silicone to create the mold. I'm a lazy bastard, so I don't want to go into detail with all that shit. It says, me and my mother, his mother helped him paint the silicone solution into the mold. I know sometimes my mom unfortunately watches these videos, so Mom, if you're watching this, I promise never to force you to go this far with one of these videos if I ever ask you to help out. And he goes on to say he finished it on Christmas Day, a bit of a Christmas miracle. And since it was made of white chocolate, half of it, you could say it was a bit of a white Christmas. And You know, White Christmas, that's up to your own interpretation of what he did with those thighs. And as you can see here is a picture of, you know, how the thighs were looking like before he, you know, made it all look nice like it was here and like all pristine. I guess he says him and his mom, you know, shaved and brushed down the chocolate to make it look all nice. Like, the funny thing is, this is supposed to be before, like, the finished product. But, like, honestly, this looks like the post product where, like, gave it to a big fan of Megamin, and they just went, like, full-on SpongeBob chocolate fish and, like, ate the shit out of it like a porn star eats ass. Like, they just, like, they went to town. Like, this just, like, looks like a post-mortem apocalypse disaster of, like, poor Megaman's chocolate thighs just didn't know what was coming. And, well, as for my own, like, you know, deep personal thoughts on this, well, I fucking love it. Like, I don't care what people think. I don't know why you would exactly choose, like, Megaman's thighs for this. Like, I love the concept, but I feel like there's so much more potential out there. Like, imagine, like, creating one of the chicks from, like, One Piece, like, all the weird angles and shit, with how weird their bodies look you'd have to create if you wanted to create a chocolate model of them. Me, I'm lazy. Like, if I was gonna, you know, say that, like, I wanted to create my own chocolate, like, thighs of my model, I would just be like, oh yeah, this is Amelia's thighs right here. Delicious. Your imagination. Oh, you know what you could do is a really interesting character moment to create chocolate thighs out of a Squidward from the one fucking SpongeBob episode when the Krabby Patties go straight to his thighs. Like, that would be iconic. Like, we need a chocolate thigh model of that. Dude who made these Megaman thighs, like, if you're somehow watching this, like, I got a job for you. Now let's take a look at some of the comments here and see what people thought. I'm getting a lot of Y's here and a lot of Q's.
You rub it on your skin and it makes you live forever.
I wonder where that extra icing came from. Thinking the same thing kinda I was, like, with the White Christmas. This guy asks, how much did it cost to make this? Apparently about, like, at least $100. Socrates, Da Vinci, Edison, this guy. This is kinda gross, not gonna lie. Yeah, just imagine how you'd feel after eating all that chocolate, the stomach pains and zits, man. Gross. I don't know. I think I'd feel pretty good after eating Megaman's thighs. And this guy's like, that's a child. And I'm like, no, it's chocolate. You know, this guy's requesting Aqua. You know, if you made Aqua, you know, it's a lot easier because then you don't even have to make the panties. Like, she doesn't wear them, so just straight white chocolate model. There you go, Aqua's thighs. Easy. Tags. Megaman Vor. That is true. It wouldn't be the first time. Oh my god. Scale it down to bite-sized pieces, then give it away for Valentine's Day. Would that be like the chocolate version of Bukkake? Okay, I'm ready to start a new decade. You know, I'd say this is truly a fascinating way to go out in this decade with a true bang. The human race has evolved from sculpting busts to 3D printing anime thighs. That is true. Like, how can you folks judge him for this when, like, ages and ages of, like, the Romans and shit, they were creating thighs, like, back then. Like, this is culture. Like, this is just carrying on a tradition. You can't judge him for this. Hi, Dalinkster. It seems like you might be looking for anime recommendations. I have changed the flare on your post to indicate that, but if I'm wrong, feel free to change it back. Okay, imagine if some, like, super idiot actually thought he was looking for anime recommendations. Like, by that logic and, like, the topic of this thread, then he should essentially be looking for, like, scat hentai or something. Alright, well, final thoughts. If you gave me these thighs, put them right in front of me, you would definitely have to call the Oompa Loompas on me.
With or without nuts?
So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me talking out the ass. I had a little bit of difficulty this one, you know, thinking of what to say. I'm used to, like, pre-planning more shit, you know, so, you know, hopefully it was still worth the watch. If you have any suggestions, insults as usual, you just want to, you know, throw in my face, feel free to do so. Always looking for ways to improve, you know, and the usual cliche YouTube bullshit. Feel free to hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, eat that bell button like you'd eat these chocolate Megaman thighs. And the Patreon thanks to my Patreon supporters, Shin AMV, Trouble Clef, Doppler Do, and whatnot. Be on the lookout for more videos as usual. Hopefully I can, you know, do more of these in the future, get a better setup and, you know, and whatnot, and get better at this, you know, get better at thinking out my ass. And so yeah, peace out, Booty Brigade.